The egg communicating with the sperm cells based
Okay.
on how it's programmed. It's looking for the compatibility of the program that it was given. And that's why women that's aware can develop geniuses by thinking about producing a genius. The problem is we don't want to put in the work to learn how to educate a genius.
Right. Well, it might not be seem like you could start them on the right track with just a few powerful things um, being grasped, and then work the rest of them in. Like I'm gonna say again, when you was talking about the medulla oblongata,
Mm-hmm.
I would just think that that's like a stem cell, or at the back of your neck. I mean, at the top of your neck, just a area that's got the bundle of all the cells in the body being routed down the spinal column, or into the rest of the body.
No, that's not what the medulla is. The medulla is a balancing uh, cylinder,
Hmm.
right? That's why when you have vertigo, they check you for tumors in your medulla
Oh,
because it throws
okay.
your balance off, right?
Right.
Also, the medulla is a ball like a little bit smaller than your fist muscle bundle right under the actual brain, on top of the brain stem.
Okay. I thought I heard you say something earlier about that area, which is the medulla oblongata, having to do with again, like some special instruction somewhere. That's why
No,
I
I
was.
was talking about
Uh,
I
okay.
was talking about right under the medulla is the pons region of the brain. It's the brain stem.
Mm. Right.
That, that's right under the medulla.
Okay. I thought it was the medulla.
Mm-mm.
What I'm saying.
It's no, the medulla is right above that, and it has different function. Consciousness comes into the pons region at the reticular formation. This is represented in the matrix by the plug in the back of the head.
Hmm. Right. Right.
That's the black dot.
Okay.
Most definitely, most definitely. Now
Okay.
we've
You said
actually
the mouth of God. Yeah.
yeah the mouth of God. Yeah.
Hey.
We've actually reached the 3 hour mark, and
Woo. Wow.
when you're breaking stuff down so much, it's not hard at all to just lose track of time or whatever. So I want to thank everybody. Let's take
Yeah.
the couple of minutes, just to
Yeah. We knew it was gonna be like this anyway.
right. We gonna resonate on that. We still have part 4 coming next Sunday as well.
Ah,
So that might, we're gonna try to wrap it up on that one, because there ain't no more Christmas after that. That's gonna be on the actual day of. We're gonna attempt to wrap it up on that day. We're gonna break down the whole commercial aspect of it, just to give you guys a heads up. All right, because we talked about the candy canes. We're still going to talk about the horse savior. We're gonna talk about the rose. All right, we're gonna talk about the rose, and the due, because what we're looking into is what's due to us, what we owe somebody, which is what's due. We're going to talk about the compass rose, the crossing, representing what happens when you don't pay what's due. We're going to talk about payment due, the Rosicrucian. Just to give you guys a quick idea, because it is going to get deep, we're going to talk about the month. We're going to talk about what's past due, the Adonai tails. If you don't pay, you're fucked, which is moisture. All right. And we're going to tie this in all to commercial debt. this is what's going to close it all out. We're going to break it down with commercial debt. We're going to talk about the bench, the banca, and why all debts sit at the banks of the river. All right, that's where all debts end up at. We're going to talk about the capital name. We're going to get into some of these papal bulls, specifically the three main ones that were used to capitalize on our enslavement, the live birth certificate,
Damn.
and the legal. We still got a whole lot that we're gonna go into. You know, we're gonna definitely break it down. We're gonna
Yeah.
you know that we could get everything together in the very last show next week. We appreciate y'all, so much for giving us the time, the day, and everything. Hopefully, we have
Can
brother.
we can we have like 5 more minutes?
Oh no,
Or
I'm gonna
everybody
close.
just
I'm gonna close it out at 3 hours and 30 minutes. So we got about
okay,
another 15 or whatever.
right. Because I want to ask Rod a few more questions, and maybe somebody from our chat want to ask him something too. I don't want to feel like I'm hogging him, but while we got you here, bro. Okay, so do you have any teachings or any schools, or you have a website or online store?
Right now, I just give out free information on Instagram and YouTube wherever I'm invited.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, is there like a criteria for you accepting the show, or what's the deal?
If I ain't got nothing to do and somebody say I need you this day, if it ain't too far in advance,
Okay.
um,
How would one contact you?
Instagram Messenger or Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
Instagram Messenger is the SikApe, and Facebook Messenger is Rod Hayes.
Okay. Cool. We may be friends on Facebook already. I think we are. But,
Yeah, you already friends with him on Facebook, sis.
yeah,
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 yeah.
that's interesting stuff because a lot of that Nephilim, Anunnaki, Nibiru stuff,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to get on board, but it's really no harder than the rest of the tales or stories that we hear, right? So it's like,
They weave into the stories that we already hear.
but would you call those true stories?
Well, whether they true or not, almost all the stories we know trace back to those documents,
What documents?
the Sumerian tablets.
Okay, and
All our religious dogmas that come from Rome is in some form piecing together a control tool using the Babylonian systems of conjure.
what about the Emerald tablets?
The Emerald tablets is from Tahuti. They from over here. They
Okay,
predate all that shit.
I'm saying you believe those to be true documents.
Yeah.
Do you believe that Tahuti wrote those documents?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that Tahuti is coming back? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're already here.
okay, so if Tahuti could, if Tahuti can be real, then wouldn't there be others sent like him,
Yeah.
or that know what he know and can do the same things that he
Nope. They
do?
can't do the same thing he can do.
They can't be Trice They can't come back and full
The
knowing.
o- the only way Tahuti can come back, it got to be so fucked up that none of the rest of the masters can fix it. Then they got to conjure him up, and then I'll show up.
Wow, because it's kind of hard to stop being a Christian and then to get another religion.
You ain't supposed to be in religion. Religion is poison.
Okay, you're right. Exactly, exactly. Or well, I'm speaking in terms of belief systems then. So maybe I shouldn't have said religion.
Right. You only gonna believe until you figure it out. Cause once you know, you ain't gonna believe no more.
That's
You
right.
gonna know it.
True that.
We was in the Piscean age of belief. Our head was underwater. We couldn't see clear.
Right.
Now our head is above water, coming into the Aquarian age. We can breathe the air.
Mm,
Right. So now we can see stuff for what it really is versus what they told us it was, and then we gonna tell everybody else what we see.
that's right. Do you think the information that's coming down is equally dispersed between matriarch and the rest of population? Like,
Big
is
Mama assigned Big Mama assigned me the task of finding everything they use to take from the women to restrict their powers, and then give it back.
okay? Did you find it?
I'm giving it back in real time. Every talk I have is geared toward informing the women how to recover their power.
That's what's up. I'm not lying. And this is why I don't want to say fascinated with you, but this is why I'm fascinated with you. It's because it's like when you're learning something and you just can't let go. Like I gotta hear, I gotta. It don't even matter what the title is really. When you've got this kind of power to draw to, and it's real. I mean, it's real. That's why you like blowing the fuck up. It's like, why couldn't we get this kind of stuff, back in the '60s and '70s, and we had to wait for the internet or this thing. But why couldn't we get that quantum entanglement going on with this kind of information, um, way back when, or always really, because we're always performing as the matriarch, no matter how battered we are or how degraded we get, we still have that presence of using those duties, those old archaic duties of the matriarch. I don't think ever really leaves a woman.
And that's how we spot them. When we, I have to talk to matriarchs because they got to give me grievances to go around and find solutions to world problems, real life problems. The
Well,
biggest grievance I got from mothers is babies dying in the street.
mm,
That was the biggest grievance I got.
okay.
So what I got to do is find out, why is the babies dying in the street? What happened? Who done it? Where did they come from? Why did they do it? What's the agenda? Right? And then in real time, how did they apply their strategy in order for our children to be killing each other like they are? So I went and found the answer. They used the doctrine of COINTELPRO as the cover story to take the leaders off the land. Once the leaders was taken off the land, they sent the imposters in to turn the children against each other, using the symbols as badges of honor in order to influence them to kill their cousins and their brothers from a different tribe. And the government was behind it the whole time.
Of
And the
course.
government was behind it because they was a fraud from the beginning. And as long as they can keep us fighting each other, we can't see the fraud because we too busy fighting each other to know why we frustrated with each other. But we discover we frustrated with each other because nobody know the invisible man smacking upside the head is this nigga called himself the white man behind the scenes telling people how to put obstacles in our path using the sciences of sociology and spiritual sciences of alchemy. But bloodletting rituals in the form of slaughterhouses, and it began with the mass slaughter of the bison to send the great bloodletting ritual energy over the land. They say if we kill all the bisons, we kill all the natives. They damn near killed all the bisons and they ain't never got close to killing all of us. So they replaced our natural food stock of bison with bovine beef, man-made hybrid animal. And the meat is saturated fat, which clogs the brain and gives our elders dementia and Alzheimer's. Whereas the bison that we used to eat, though it was only ceremonial, it was polyunsaturated fat that facilitates the firing of the brain cells by lubricating the neurons. So that's why they wanted to get rid of the bison. So all of these things ties to the way that the foodstuffs affects the psychology of the people. The political arena is used to steer the narrative, and the spiritual doctrines of religion is used to undermine the spiritual power that's innate in the woman. I don't care what preacher it is, the church mother run that bitch. I don't care what preacher it is. The church mother is the mother, she's the power source. Every one of the churches, you don't never go to a church and they don't got a church mother, no matter how big or how small.
Facts. Big facts.
Big Mama not finna let these motherfuckers sit there and lie to you and don't have a Big Mama watching his motherfucking ass. She's just not gonna do it. So we hid a lot of our stuff in the church, but we got so intoxicated with Christianity that we couldn't get our shit back out. We didn't know that catching the Holy Ghost shouting in church was our original custom before they ever came. That's what we used to do around the fire. But they call shouting. They didn't tell you speaking in tongues. That ain't part of the original church.
Right.
The way we speak in tongues, that's from our earthborn religions. That go back into antiquity, ancient times. So now, how do we put it back together? Now that we know that they turning our boys against each other, the best thing we can teach them is don't fall for that trap. Every time you make
people, you know what I'm saying, on the land. So we brought Rod on, man. Rod finna get ready to crack heads into its camps. Can you hear me, Rod?
Yeah, I can hear you. I gotta go out and come back in. So what you do, run that video, because this is gonna be the foundation for what we're gonna be talking about.
Got you. I got you.
Do I sound pretty clear?
Yeah, you clear. You loud and clear.
Okay. So it's a couple things I need you to remember. When they talking about the number 13, right? They talking about the spell put on the Great Mother by the secret societies.
Okay.
When they talk about the 72 star seal in the dome, they talking about the 72 sigils used to seal the Great Mother womb.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then they gonna talk about the layout of Washington, DC. Those are sigils on the ground for conjure spell.
Okay.
Right? When they talk about patriots, they talking about patriarchy.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so when you listen to it, they gonna give you all of this history, and they gonna tie all the stuff we've been talking about, the usurping of the Great Mother and the restoring the Great Mother back to her throne. They finna show you all of the places they put the spells on her, but he's gonna be telling it as if the number 13 is a cursed number. But the curse was put on the number 13 by the patriarchy to put a circle of blockade around Big Mama's seat. right?
Okay.
He's dealing with DC, District of Columbia. Remember, before it was Washington, DC, right? It was called Rome,
Yeah, go ahead.
right? To tie us back to all of the biblical prophecies. Also, pay attention to how they connect George Washington to Zeus. And
Okay.
remember that Zeus is Enlil.
Okay. That's
You
fine.
got that? So I can't hear you that good, so I got to go out and come back in so you can run that video. And by the time it's over with, we be ready to boot up.
I got it.
He's adding value. Peace and love, sis. Thank you for always being there with us. Thank you for adding value. Jasmine is also here. She says, Universal, I saw that too. I'm on my way home. See y'all when the show starts. Salute to everyone. I hope you made it, sis, and that you are with us. Mike Weston in the house. He said he ready. He was just watching football in the meantime. So let's go. Y'all hit the like on your way. Please, 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 please hit the like button on your way in. He says, give salute to the Taz Show and Yassini and all guests. We have the Empress herself. She was also watching a little football ahead of time. Uh, Nathaniel Bay in the building. He says, yo, I'm ready. Let's get this party started. Salute to the chat and panel. He's heard about Wright Hayes. It will be nice to finally see him in the building. I'm glad at least there is somebody that we get to introduce the brother Hayes because, he is very well known out there in the platform. So, we got lawful versus legal. He says salute to the family. Clown in the house. He says, what time is it? It's at the Taz Show time. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being here. Brother, you keep showing up, and I haven't got the slightest clue. Please send me an email. How in the world do I pronounce your doggone name? Because I have no idea. I know Tawantinsuyu, that's the name of South America or something like that. But Abayana, I'm not even gonna try it, brother. I'm not even gonna try it. But we have the Empress herself, Sharon Moore in the building. I'm getting, and she says she's ready. Let's get it in. Yasima, Selena, and Taz. We got the doctor in the building, Michael Pazio in the building as well. Peace. We have Jasmine. She says she's here. Hit the like and help out, y'all. Most definitely. We have the Empress herself. Reads Learning Street. Peace, love, and light to the royals. It's good to have you here, sis. Universal Empress. We got Latasha in the building. How are you? 804 has arrived. Peace and love. Peace
All
and
right,
love.
all right.
Have you in the building. We have Naima Ra. She says, greetings to all. We appreciate you. We love y'all for joining us. It is great to have you. We had a great time the last two parts, so I'm hoping that we get it in once more. This
Yeah.
time on the part three, family, we about to get it in. This is the ending. I always put the best information for the very end. So for the last parts of what we have, we are going to have some explosive things to talk about. So I encourage you to please go check out the other parts so you could understand what's going on. As always, you could find me under Tasmaniac Wolf on Facebook and the Taz Show under everything else. Feel free to go check all that out. As always, we have to give a little disclaimer because there's a couple of people that take things too out of hand. So we're gonna get the disclaimer out the way real quick. Uh, um, we have the God himself, PNF, Lord of the Crickets in the house. Good to have you here, brother. Thank you for being here. Uh, but disclaimer, real quick: the material and information on this PowerPoint is for general information purposes only. You do not assume the information speaks in absolute. No such thing exists. Concept of Christmas explained here, found in many literatures and historical documents. We will speak of religion, etymology, history, and the connection between all. If any of these subjects, especially religion, creates controversy for you, this might not be the show for you. It is advised that you watch my word magic pay-per-view to comprehend the play on words I use throughout this breakdown. Keep in mind that I am presenting you my understanding, not the absolute truth. You should know by now that all truths are half truth and we're living our own version of the truth. I encourage you to believe nothing I say, but instead do your own research and come up with your own truth and understandings.
And
That's it.
Disclaimer, Taz, they got to be aware I'm an iconoclast. I came to assault every one of these fake gods that they got up in front of us. So if you God conscious and you feel offended when somebody whoop your Jesus, Muhammad, and Abraham upside the head, this might not be the show.
This ain't the show for you. Amen.
If
I'm
you
right. You don't
if
do
you're a Moor and you don't know the difference between the dirty Moor and the righteous Moor, this might not be the show for you.
There it is. Let's put it out there from the beginning, all right?
I gotta let it be known, since you're doing disclaimers, we might as well go and get it on out the way. Don't
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
for no mercy from me, because I got the same mercy that they gave us when they were stepping on our neck. So
yeah.
no, I will not tone down my colorful epithets. No, I will not apologize for nothing that I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all ahead of time. I'm not going to apologize, because I'm going to deliberately say everything I'm going to say, and I'm going to mean that shit. And whoever get offended, that's on you, right? I'm not apologizing ahead of time, so I'm gonna offend somebody.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Let them know, Rod. Let them know that we ain't for to play no games, and we gonna shoot the first shot.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Goddamn right.
Sir.
But now that we got that out the way, and we know that you will get a boot in your ass if you get out of pocket, you know, just all you got to do is leave, family. If you don't agree, or or if you or if you come on some cloud chasing, listen, ain't gonna be no cloud chasing, because you will be banned. All right. If what you're trying to do is just I'm gonna try to expose blah blah blah. And listen, get your goof ass. But
They can
moving,
come trying to expose something and get their ass exposed.
yeah. Most definitely, most definitely, most definitely.
But let's get on down to business, Taz. Let's discuss this thing called Christmas and the winter solstice and what do it all mean.
Right, most definitely. So last time we had stopped this show, we had stopped right when we had gotten the knowledge of the spinal cord, the vertebrates. We learned about the T's and the L's. We learned about the sympathetic trunk system and a bunch of whole other stuff that that we found in the Quran and we were looking into. And we broke down a lot of the parts of admiralty. So we introduced commerce into the concept of Christmas. And we're going to pick right back up right there where we left up on part 3. With that said, the next part will be El Sagrado Corazón, which is the Sacred Heart, because this crucifixion that is taking place is something that happens within you. Just like we talked about the concept of the story of a woman coming from a rib. There's also that crucifixion that we are thought about. Oh yeah, Jesus died in the cross for you. Well, the cross is actually within you. And it implies to where your clavicle bones are at, and your spinal cord, which represents the rod, where the sacred secretion transfers to. But it says, as can also be seen, the rib cage is the beast's neck. For the spine, where the golden honey plasma is made through the spinal ionization process, and cathodic or Catholic crossing of the heart. The ribs also represents the branches of DNA of the Christmas tree, the spine. And when the ribs and spines are flattened, they appear almost exactly like a monarch butterfly. All right. So this, I mentioned it as El Sagrado Corazon because that's how it's known as the most popular. I'm not sure if everybody has heard in regards about it, and it will build from there from this slide. You guys want to add something?
Well, the Sacred Heart, when we're talking about the heart chakra,
Facts.
we're talking about activating mitochondria. Whenever you see Christ, KRST is the root word. So when you see the word Christ, you know that they're talking about mitochondrial activation on a higher level or frequency. Now, if the man haven't been doing his self work to develop into a certain character type, he becomes hostile when that energy is turned on and he can't control himself. He becomes abusive to others and himself. He can't control that love energy, right? So everybody say they want love, but they don't want to do the work required to be a receptacle in which love is willing to pour into you, right? So if they're talking about the empty cup, all that goes back to this, the sangria or the sacred blood. Right?
Woo!
So all this is talking about the blood of Christ, the Eucharist, right? EU Christ, the European Christ. EU is the European Union. They're talking about the artificial replica of the Messiah to rise in Europe when the real Messiah rises in the other land. So all of these things are coded metaphysics and what they call conceptual physics, where they write like a word problem in math. That's what these things are. This is what you're looking at.
Okay, okay. Thank you for sharing that, brother. You want to add something, Sister Salima or Sister Yasini, before we go on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna add this. I have my pen and paper, and I'm gonna be trying to list 10 things that the God is saying. So I'm gonna be doing more writing and listening on this show, and let the gods and the goddess take over. Yeah, I'm gonna
You said
list 10 things that the master is saying.
most definitely, most definitely. I hope y'all brought a pen and paper, because it will be necessary to take notes, or come back
Yes.
and watch the video. So you want to add something, Sister Salima?
Well, yeah, I just want to touch on the fact that he was talking about the math.
Facts.
As you know, I'm real big on the languages, and the original math was word.
Facts.
So we've been stuck in the circular on these numbers. That original math is the letters that you see. You see what I'm saying? But we don't understand that because the way they've been teaching us is with their programming. Our math taught to us has always been geared on what they want to see manifested in this realm. And once we go back to the original word problems, well, not problems, it'll be the building. It'll be like word building, but it'll be different type of math. It won't just be numbers the way they've taught it to us, or letters as an abstract opponent of an equation. Your letters would often be your leader part of that equation.
And to add to what she's talking about, when you look at modern math, there's only two alphabets hardwired in the math, and that's an algebra. That's the X and the Y. Now, where else do we find prominent expressions of X and Y?
In the chromosome.
In the chromosomes, right? So the Y is the unknown variable, but X marks the spot.
Woohoo! Facts.
Damn
Because
right.
the X is in the chronosphere. It's in that chrono in the clock. When the Roman letters, that X is the first one.
Mm. Yes.
So,
When you look at that original clock that they had, that's still running our time backwards to us, telling us how old we are, that X is up there. That people don't recognize
really,
what they see it.
the really reaging in reverse is Benjamin Button, but we think that we supposed to grow from youth to old. But we really, it's physically, yes, but spiritually, no. We grow from the wise child. If we don't properly control our growth, we digress into the aged old feeble-minded individual, the baby.
Mm.
Right? So they use the Benjamin Button to give you an extreme exaggeration of how it worked in hopes that you can put together the simplified formula of the equation. Right? So you build a man from the boy, right? But when the man falls, he becomes the feeble-minded, elderly, broke-down vessel, the aged baby. What's it called? Progeria is the disorder.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Progeria. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna.
that's the disorder that make the babies look like they elderly.
Oh.
Which is actually an extraterrestrial trait inherited from great aliens with faulty genetics that broke down over time.
Wow.
Progeria, also known as Hutchinson-Gilford syndrome, is an extremely rare progressive genetic disorder that causes children to age rapidly, starting in their first 2 years of life. Holy shit! Children with progeria generally appear normal at birth. Bro, you
Hit
just
images.
I
Yeah.
remember a movie like that. Robin Williams played a baby or something like that. He was aging real fast.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They die about 12. They'd be lucky to make 12, 13 or something like that.
I think the oldest one ever lived was 20.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even know that.
Okay. So yeah. That's what's up.
Okay, so now Mother Nature gave you a parallel, a comparative analysis mechanism.
Mm.
This is why we always comparing her butt to her butt, her knockers to her knockers, right? Because we need something to compare something to in order to recognize difference. So the enemy came in using the religious dogma as the seeds of dissension to create, divide, and conquer, which gives us these doctrines that we going over now. It was a military strategy hidden under the pretense of a spiritual solution.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, the story gets deeper.
The story definitely gets deeper. So we could stay on that one. With
Yeah.
all four of us, we could stay in this one slide and just yap it up for a whole long time. So just for the sake of continuance, we'll keep it moving. But it's getting deep already the way it is. So let's move forward because these gems are gonna be dropped today. All right, you gonna learn today, because people are always wondering, like, damn, what are we going what are we gonna do today?
You
Well,
gonna learn today.
that's what we gonna do.
That's Black Girl Magic talking. I don't know who that was, but every time I get ready to do a class that's going to be unloading a massive amount of information, Black Girl Magic come through and she tell me, y'all gonna learn us. We gonna learn y'all something today.
Shit. Did he say a massive amount of information? Damn, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to go get some more paper.
So anytime I'm so imagine I'm like a puppet, right?
Yeah.
And the puppet master for the day is the one who's telling me how to teach the class. So today we sponsored by Black Girl Magic,
Yes. Yes.
right? So Black Girl Magic, she tired of playing the games. So she say she gonna learn these motherfuckers something one way or another. And I say, okay, what do you want me to teach them? And then she give y'all the knocks. When y'all knock, she say, let them have it.
Boom.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
That's
Sid,
why I'm here.
do you wanna tell us about the colostrum right quick?
Yep. And I'm going to earn my knocks.
Go ahead,
So,
sis.
in the brain or cranium, there's a cerebrum or a horn. And within the cerebrum, we find that the colostrum or Santa slash Satan claws, it sits in the middle of your temple or most high organ within the carnal body. So from this colostrum, there's a secretion or brain fluid produced every 28 days and most potent during the celestial events of every 23rd of December to the 25th, and the day your solar and lunar signs align or your birth. So this fluid or secretion is an oil, which is old times, which in old times, such as the Greeks, was called the Christos, or now known as the Christ. So this secretion marks its travels from the colostrum down the spine as it learns and collects all information on its descent or fall to its lowest form.
Facts, facts. Who wants a shot at this first off the top before I get in it?
So if you notice that this word colostrum is similar to the first suckle of the baby from the mother's teat called the colostrum.
The colostrum, yes. Teach, holy shit, yes. Okay.
Right now, the reason why a lot of us is having problems with the children because the pair binding is broken at the colostrum feeding to the newborn baby. The cycle is supposed to be the baby is born, you clear the mouth, you put them on the teeth, drink the colostrum. The colostrum, when it goes through the baby's system, sends a hormone through the baby's body, which also is infusing it with genetic memory, biological self defense that we call antibiotics. It's giving them an immune system. And it's also telling them the program of the mother so that he can understand his own program. All this is the first information fed to the child externally after birth from the mother. Now, once the chemicals in the baby's body is hormonally released, they feed the information back through the umbilical cord, and this colostrum represents the spinal cord, right? Because this colostrum travels up the spinal cord to the brain, right? So in the uterus being a portal, it's sending a signal from the child into the walls of the mother's vagina through the placenta, right? And once this happens, then it sends the mother's brain, just like this colostrum right here is sending this secretion to the brain. This sends the same response to the mother's brain to facilitate actual parental pair bonding with mother and child that's been deprived through clipping the umbilical cord and slapping them on the ass.
Facts, bro. You blew my mind with that colostrum because that is the most important part of the milk itself. You know that's what activates the building process of the baby's brain. You know, when they start doing all the new learning and all that stuff. That was deep. That was definitely deep. Sister Salima, you want to add something, sis?
No.
No? All right, Sister Yasini.
I'm good.
All right, all right. So yeah, from just to add value to what the brother just added, this essence that it travels, it states that is falling, it's pretty much the story of Lucifer, just as the crystals is the story of the Christ. It's also the story of Lucifer and my apologies of
What,
Samael and his fall into earth, and as when he becomes Lucifer, is that travel down your spine as it goes down and falls all the way to its lowest point, where it
You mentioned Samael. That's it's an anagram, and it's a word problem. It's a secret in the open. The fall of Samael is the Psi priestesses that they call Gorgons in Greece. The Ma on Samael represents the sacred mother who they replace with a man in drag. L is the definite article, but it also tells you the culprit, the dirty Moor.
Wow. I've heard of different breakdowns of the name Samael, but that one just did a thing. For me, it was because I didn't know the sa part. I knew about the ma and the l, but I couldn't connect the sa to anything. Just yeah, that
Okay, if you type in the letters essay under images on Google, it's going to give you a symbol of the Psi priestesses. These were the doulas.
okay.
And it's going to almost look like a bread tie rolled up without the bread loaf on it. And the Psi priestesses, they rank from 1 to 10. Medusa means 10th Psi priestess.